FTX was once one of the most trusted names in crypto, until it wasn't. In 2022, the multi-billion-dollar exchange collapsed almost overnight, taking customer funds with it and leaving the industry shaken. But here's the thing, FTX wasn't a one-off. It was a symptom of a deeper issue in crypto, centralization. So today, we're breaking down the battle between CEXs and DEXs, centralized versus decentralized exchanges, and why understanding the difference might save your portfolio. CEXs, centralized exchanges, have been around since the early days of crypto. Back in 2010, BitcoinMarket.com became the first platform to let users trade Bitcoin for fiat. But the real boom came with Mt. Gox. At its peak, it handled over 70% of all Bitcoin transactions. Then in 2014, Mt. Gox got hacked. Hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins vanished, and with them, public trust. Despite this, centralized exchanges continued to dominate. Platforms like Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken offered smoother UX, high liquidity, and faster trades. But as we saw with FTX, that centralization can come at a massive cost. On the flip side, decentralized exchanges, or DEXs, started gaining traction around 2016. Early platforms like EtherDelta introduced peer-to-peer trading, cutting out the middleman. The problem? Clunky interfaces and low liquidity made them tough to use. That changed in 2018 when Uniswap introduced automated market makers, or AMMs. This innovation allowed anyone to provide liquidity, boosting volume, and making DEXs a real competitor. Today, platforms like Uniswap, SushiSwap, and PancakeSwap handle billions in volume. No central authority required. Let's break it down simply. Custody, CEXs hold your funds. You deposit your crypto into their wallet, DEXs. You keep control. You trade directly from your own wallet. As they say, not your keys, not your coins. Regulation. CEXs follow rules. KYC, AML, government compliance. That adds a layer of security, but also makes them vulnerable to shutdowns or freezes. DEXs are mostly unregulated, offering more privacy, but sometimes less accountability. Liquidity and speed. CEX usually have more users, more volume, and faster execution. DEXs can be slower or have lower liquidity, especially for obscure tokens. But liquidity pools and yield incentives are changing that fast. Pros and cons. Centralized exchanges. CEXs. Pros. Easy to use. High liquidity. Customer support. Cons. You trust them with your funds, subject to hacks, fraud, or shutdowns. Regulatory pressure is growing. Decentralized exchanges. DEXs. Pros. You stay in control. No middleman, no gatekeepers. Lower risk of systemic collapse. Cons. Steeper learning curve. Lower liquidity on niche assets. No customer support if something breaks. Envision Sam Bankman-Fried. Let's go back to FTX. In 2022, a leak revealed that Alameda Research, FTX's sister company, was heavily exposed to FTT, FTX's own token. Once trust broke, users rushed to withdraw funds, billions within days. FTX didn't have the liquidity to cover it. Turns out, customer deposits were allegedly used to prop up risky trades. FTX collapsed, with an $8 billion hole. Its founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, is now serving 25 years in prison for fraud and conspiracy. CEX risk in full view. So, what's better, CEX or DEX? Honestly, it depends on you. If you're just starting, a reputable CEX can offer a smooth entry. But if you value privacy, self-custody, and decentralization, DEXs are the future. For me, as someone who paid over $1 million in student loan interest and spent 15 years working to dig out of that hole, I've learned the hard way what happens when you give up control over your money. Crypto gave me a second chance, and understanding where and how I trade is part of that journey. So ask yourself, who do you trust more, yourself or the exchange? If you found this breakdown helpful, give it a like and subscribe to follow my journey from debt to DeFi. I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy learning how to flip the script using compound interest in my favor. Let's navigate this wild world of crypto together. Thanks for watching, and remember, always do your own research.